Hi everybody, how's it going today? Thanks for watching. You would have watched my last video. I kind of briefly talked about the construction project that we have going on, so I thought I'd kind of show you guys how that's coming along here today, and then how we are handling the cows in our south milking barns while we're not able to go through the cross alley in between, or in the middle of that barn and in between two barns to the milking parlor. So I'm in our barn behind the milking parlor here at the moment. The pen of cows in the parlor right now are from our south barn, and we are currently bringing those cows outside the two barns through this alley here to the milking parlor. So these are our fresh cows. We move them over to one side to cross these cows back and forth to the parlor. Fresh cows right here as well. And we're going through this alley, out the barn, outside and over. We made a temporary walk lane with straw bales in between the barns. So the cows are going outside the barns through this little walk lane, through the barn to the parlor. And then we are having to scrape that manure to the back of the barn, scoop it up with the skid steer. We're dumping it into a payload or bucket and then hauling it to our manure storage with the bucket, which is takes a little bit longer that way, but we are getting it done in the time that it takes to milk the pen, so that's actually working out okay. We have to get this pen here next. This is pen 3. So we move the bales and these gates to be able to get in and out of this pen. So we got the payloader there. Christian's inside the pen with the skid steer. So he takes the scraping tire, pushes all the manure to this side, and then he'll come in with the skid steer with the bucket, scoop it up, and load it out. Years ago, when we were doing some work in our manure reception pit, we had rented a Mensch manure vacuum, and I did make a couple calls to try to get one lined up, but I couldn't find one here. So we decided it's only 2 pens, we'll do it this way, and it's actually working okay. I'm not sure a manure vacuum would have really done us much good anyways, because we can get in and vacuum that alley, but we would not be able to get in and get to this alley. So either way, we would have had to bucket this manure over to that alley to then vacuum it up, because we do not have access from the center of the barn. As I'll show you that in a second here. When we did this years ago with a manure vacuum, we were able to come in through the middle of the barn and then into these larger alleys and make the turn there to vacuum these large alleys next to the feed lane, but we're not able to do that now. I mean, we could technically do it today yet, but once they dig their trench through here, we would not be able to do that. So where these orange marks are here and on that side, this is going to be dug out all the way through into our heifer barn. They have dug from our heifer barn to where that excavator is, and they're coming this way, and then they're using a mini X to start on that end and work their way this way. So they're pretty much going to try to meet each other. The big excavator is coming out, and he's going to stop short of the barn here because we need this open access to get this clay and dirt out this way. It's Wednesday here today. The plan is to try to get this dug out today. They were going to try to pour this yet today, but I don't see that really happening at this point. So So then we're gonna pour this tomorrow morning, which is Thursday. Set up the forms Thursday afternoon for the walls of that pit. Pour the pit Friday. Strip the forms for the walls Friday or Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and then let that sit for at least a day or two. Backfill it Monday next week, and then start pouring these floors, the floors up to that pit from this side and this side. Hopefully Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. So I'm hoping here, best case scenario, by Wednesday next week, which is Wednesday today, so a week from today, we'll have cows back on either side of this barn and going back through this walkway. And then they'll work on finishing the walkway out here and into our heifer barn after that. I'm inside the heifer barn here now to kind of give you guys an idea of what this looks like. So south side of the barn, and then we've got groups of heifers on this side. We're breeding in these pens. We used to have a little building right here. That building is now gone. We got heifers from 8 months of age all the way up to about 12 months of age on this side here. It's a little bit of disruption here on this, in the heifer barn here, but it's not too bad. We can still get in and out of these pens here and in and out of these pens here. Tentatively, the plan right now is we've got this all this electrical stuff here that goes to the water trough heaters in this barn, and also to some manure pumps over there, a feed bin over there, plus our scale that comes up here. We're gonna have a box inside a concrete wall right here, and then we're gonna go into that box and back down that box and out the barn to that new little building that we're making over there. So they've started forming the bottom of the trench. They're out the building about halfway towards our milking barns. So this is the bottom of the gutter that will come in this barn here. Then they'll form up some walls on either side, and then yeah, same thing as in the milking barns, and then we can start backfilling this. So their plan is to do the whole floor in one, all the walls in one, but then we'll have to pour the floor back up to those walls, probably in a few different sections. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Hey, come on. Come on. Come on, girls. Come on. Keep it moving. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on, girls. Hey, hey, hey. Come on. Leave them alone. Come on. Come on, girls. Come on. Good?
Now let him check the clock. How many clocks from here?
It's a little bit later on here. Thought I was going to miss the concrete pouring of this floor, but I got back before they got started. I had a doctor's appointment in Fargo. They have to do some of this with a wheelbarrow. They had looked at getting a pump truck in here, but that really wasn't going to work. Then they looked at getting a unit with just a hose they could drag around, but really they can reach most of it with the truck. It's the far south end that they can't reach with the truck, and then the far north end they're going to use this buggy here, because they can come down the feed alley with the concrete truck. They can come down that feed alley, and they can reach in between here. So they have to do that little section with the wheelbarrows, and then they're going to do this section with the buggy. Well, this essentially gives you an idea where that gutter is going to be. So now there will be, so this is 4 feet wide. Then there will be 2 8-inch walls that sit on here that are about 3 feet high. So it's essentially a 3 by 3 square trough. It's actually a little taller than 3, but essentially 3 by 3. And then we run into our manure reception pit right here. So they cut this chunk out of the wall here yesterday. That'll feed right into this pit, similar to how, see that auger sitting over there? There was one like that sitting right here. I'm actually kind of surprised they got this all done here by today. It was quite a job digging this trench inside the barn, just because there's so little room to turn. Not a lot of room to get in even with a skid steer and turn around and take good full buckets of dirt. But they worked at 10 p.m. 2 days in a row, getting the concrete broke out, plus then digging this trench and getting this formed up. And it should hopefully from this point go maybe a little quicker, but we'll see. The plan is to form the walls tomorrow. They're going to try to pour them yet maybe tomorrow or Saturday, if they can get concrete on Saturday. Let them sit over the weekend, start backfilling Monday potentially. And I had requested that we try to get this this barn, the milking barn floor, repacked in and poured before doing anything else on the heifer barn side, because this is kind of the priority to get the milking cows back in their pens. So kind of a windy day today. We're actually we had spread solid manure on our wheat field. We finished that here a couple days ago, and then Tyson is seeding some rye out on that wheat field now. So the plan is to harvest that rye next spring for forage, and then plant that sorghum sudan grass, Italian ryegrass mix again into those acres. We've got that going on here today also, but not gonna have time to look at any of that. But we'll maybe show you that when the rye's out of the ground, or for sure we'll show you that next spring when we're harvesting that crop. But I'm glad it's finally starting to take shape a little bit here, finally getting some concrete down. Anyways, I think I'll end the video here. Probably getting plenty long at this point. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Questions and comments, post them down below, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.